Thank you, Mr. Yarborough. Thank you very much. I also want to say thank you to the students providing our music, the Atlanta area students, grades 8 through 12. They were hand-selected to be in the Atlanta Chamber Music Festival for Young Musicians. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to you to this banquet where we're here to celebrate the excellence of the Cobb County and City of Marietta's academic best of the best. Over the past 57 years, the Page Star program has honored nearly 25,000 high school seniors for their academic excellence. With us tonight, representing the statewide sponsors for the STAR program, the Professional Association of Georgia Educators Foundation, is Melanie Evans. Melanie? As was mentioned, to obtain the STAR nomination, high school seniors must have one of the highest scores on a single test date on the SAT and be in the top 10% of their class based in grade point average. Each STAR student chooses a teacher that was influential in their scholastic achievement to share this recognition. The Page Star Council then selects students to represent their locality at the regional and then state level. Cobb County and Marietta has been fortunate to have many excellent educators and administrators to create an environment that encourages bringing out the best in these fine young people. I'd like to recognize some of just a few people as being instrumental in creating the infrastructure for all students within Cobb County and Marietta. Chris Ragsdale, Superintendent of Cobb County Schools, Dr. Dayton Hibbs, sorry about that, Assistant Superintendent of Marietta Schools, Dr. Grant Rivera, David Banks of the Cobb County Schools, Jareen Grimes, Tom Cheater, and Allison Gruen of the City of Marietta Board of Education, and Loretta Hannon, Assistant Director of Communications for Cobb County Schools, who was instrumental in having the Cobb Education TV cover the highlights for tonight. If you folks would stand, please. We have a number of principals, vice principals, and headmasters in attendance whose leadership fostered an environment for all students to prosper. And it would be remiss in not recognizing all of the counselors at each of the schools for their work with the STAR program, in addition to their daily contributions to the students. They are some of the unsung heroes for making tonight happen by assisting me with collecting the 216 names for the people in attendance tonight. So I thank all of you. Last and certainly not least, I want to recognize the parents, family members, and hosts of exchange students for their continuous support that has resulted in a reason for us all to be here tonight. This year we have 27 STAR students and 2 schools with ties. As I announce each STAR student and teacher, would you both please come forward? Also, students, please take a moment to tell us where you are planning to go to school or what schools you're waiting to hear from. And of course, why it is that you chose your STAR teacher. Now, of course, you're going to be graded on your presentation for this. A final note that I'd like to make is when I call the students up, if there's anybody in the audience that would want to come up and take pictures of family members or something like that, you're welcome to come up. I'm going to mention here that the camera is on this side. The students will be speaking here, so there you go. I'm going to ask a couple people Bob Binkley, and we have Nerdan Cornelius from the Cobb EMC, and he doesn't know this yet, but Doug Sterner from Educators First. Could you help us out with this, please? Okay, now I'm really putting people on the spot here. Chris Ragsdale and Dr. Dayton Hibbs, could you all help? This was the unrehearsed part, so.
What do we do now?
All righty. Representing Allen C. Pope High School, Jose Espinel. Jose is not going to be here this evening. Accepting his award is going to be his mother, Gladys. Jose is in Washington, D.C. He's attending a policy event for the Future Business Leaders of America, where he is the national president of a student body of over 250,000 students across the nation. So is Gladys here? Should you come up? And I'm sorry, Miss Linda Brown is Jose's star teacher. Looks like you get 2 plaques tonight. Representing Allatoona High School is Rachel Stammen and her teacher, Mr. Joseph Maselli.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Allatoona, and I'm very excited to be attending Georgia Tech this fall to study chemical and biomolecular engineering. I chose Mr. Maselli as my star teacher because, well, I met him my junior year when he became the new Beta Club sponsor, and he was a great sponsor from the start, letting the other officers and I really make decisions and everything, but always being there when we needed guidance. And this year I was lucky enough to have him as a teacher, and honestly, I never thought that I would enjoy AP macroeconomics as much as I did. So Mr. Maselli is amazing at what he does, and I just want to thank him for everything he's done for me.
From Campbell High School, Christina Pendergrast and her star teacher, Ms. Mellon Roberson. This is Ms. Roberson's second Star Teacher Award.
Hello, I'm Christina from Campbell High School, and I'm honored to be part of the University of Oklahoma's class of 2020 this fall. I am going to try and keep it brief, but basically Senora Roberson has been one of the reasons that I have been able to do as well as I have in high school. She's inspired me to not only look at what I know, but what other cultures and what other ideas might know about what I see every day. She's been the best Spanish teacher anyone could ask for. That's all I can say.
That's good enough.
From Carlton J. Kell High School, Karen Wu and her star teacher, Ms. Ann Nemick.
Hello, I'm Karen Wu, a senior at Kell High School. Currently, I haven't decided completely where I'm going to go to college, but I'm planning on attending the University of Chicago. I chose Ms. Nemick because beyond just being my teacher in the classroom, I've had so many good conversations with you about my plans for the future. And just kind of discussing this over with you, I've been able to refine my own visions further, and it's meant a lot to me. Thank you.
From Cornerstone Preparatory Academy, Emily Deeney and her star teacher, Allison Manning.
Hello. I actually had to write a little piece for my school's chronicle, so it's super short. I figured I could just read that. But I am hopefully attending Belmont University this fall. I wait to hear back from their music school about whether I've been accepted, but that is my #1 choice. Mrs. Manning was one of my first teachers when I came to Cornerstone in 9th grade, and I chose her as my star teacher, in part because she helped me to transition from a middle school level of writing to a more adult and high school level of writing. English has always been one of my favorite subjects, and Mrs. Manning helped to foster my love for that and to help me grow in my skill set for that. I also chose Mrs. Manning as my star teacher because she established a safe place where no question I ever had seemed too dumb to ask, even if it was. She's always been compassionate and understanding, and she was always willing to explain to her students who were confused or lost. Mrs. Manning genuinely cares about her students, believes in them, and hopes the best for them. The culmination of these practices and qualities was that I always felt respected as a student and as a person, and in return that made it even easier and made me want to respect Mrs. Manning even more. So that's why I chose her as my star teacher.
Good job.
From Cumberland Christian Academy, Eric Gentry and his star teacher, Mr. Gary Oxendine. This is Mr. Oxendine's second Star Teacher Award.
Hello, my name is Eric Gentry, and I am from Cumberland Christian Academy. My plans are to go to Georgia Tech for aerospace engineering, and I chose Mr. Oxendine because he's not only there for me as a teacher, but as a counselor, helping me make important decisions so that I can follow a decision plan that I want and I know I need. And he's the only teacher I know who can make calculus feel like Algebra 1.
From Dominion Christian High School, Hannah Hall, and the star teacher, Ms. Victoria Rudd.
Hi. I plan to go to Augusta University to study medical illustration. And I chose Miss Rudd, my art teacher, as my star teacher. And it's not every day that an art teacher is chosen for an academic award, but when I was asked which teacher has influenced me the most, Mrs. Rudd was the first to come to my mind. You see, what she has taught me can not only be applied to my art, but also my academics, and even more important, my life. If I were to pick one thing to represent all that she has taught me, it would be to stop trying to be perfect. When you are caught up trying to be perfect, you spend so much time focusing on one specific area that, that you neglect the rest. She has also taught me that perfection is not the same as excellence. Perfection has no room for error. And therefore, one cannot work for it. Because to work for it means that you start out imperfect. You start with mistakes. But excellence is something that can be strived for, because making mistakes is part of the process of reaching it. It's not something that is instantaneous or quick to achieve. That's why I chose her as my star teacher.
From George Walton High School, we have a tie. Yujin Jiang and her star teacher, Mr. Alan Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth has been a star teacher once before as well.
Hi, my name is Yujin Jiang, and I'm a senior at Walton High School. So far, I've been accepted to Yale University. I'd like to thank Mr. Farnsworth for turning his classroom into a home, his students into a family of 5 years, and turning me into from an awkward 8th grader into not only an avid enthusiast of the classics, but a lifelong learner with the courage to really challenge myself and to really explore and push my limits. Thank you.
Also from George Walton High School is John Morey and his star teacher, Jennifer Snoddy. And she has been a star teacher once before as well.
Hello, I'm John, and I'm a senior at Walton High School, and I'm planning to attend Yale University as well this fall. So I always consider myself more of a science, math type of person. Those were the classes that I naturally excelled at. And social studies, those classes were a bit of like something that I had to get across, but not necessarily something that I particularly enjoyed. But I remember going to my junior year, Miss Naughty's class. We all sat around the classroom, and Miss Naughty, there was an empty desk in the middle of the room. And Miss Naughty just began telling us a story. It wasn't really teaching, but it made the history come so alive to all of us. And we're like, wow, should we be taking notes or something? So Miss Naughty has totally transformed my social studies, my perception of social studies, in that her class was the first class that I listened to music to analyze the political aspects of music. It was the first class that we went on an in-school field trip out in the hallways to sort of determine our views on a particular issue. It was the first class that I got to analyze a piece of art with my fellow star student, Eugen. But the one thing that I really appreciate that Miss Naughty's class has brought to me is that we used to have debates about political issues. And I consider myself more of an introspective type. I don't commonly talk in class, but there was one time we were talking about the morality of the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II, and I guess I was so personally passionate about the subject that I took the chance, I raised my hand, and I expressed my opinion to the entire class. And it was something that I would have never done before. So Ms. Naughty has taught me the importance of expressing my opinions, that me, as the new generation, our opinions are what shapes social studies, are what shapes humanity of the United States as a whole. And that has brought me a lot of confidence to even speak in front of so many people like tonight. So thank you, Ms. Naughty.
From Harrison High School, Grant Mercer and his star teacher, Michelle Bowman. Ms. Bowman has been a star teacher 2 times prior.
I'm Grant Mercer from Harrison High School, and I'm still narrowing down my college choices between UGA, Vanderbilt, and Emory. And the reason I selected Ms. Bowman is that for the past 2 years, she's helped me achieve more than I ever thought possible. Calculus has not always been easy, but she's always been there to help me and to encourage me with a kind word. She will be the teacher that I remember for the rest of my life.
From Hillgrove High School, Olubumi Fariake and his star teacher, Christina McIntyre. Ms. McIntyre has been a star teacher once before.
Good evening. So before I get started with my own thing, I wanted to give a shout out to one of my really good friends out in the audience, Johnny Childs. the only thing that really separates him from me right now is 10 points. So, growing up, during our friendship, I really seen him grow not only as a student but as a person. So if we could get a little round of applause for him really quickly before I go on. So where I'm going to school next year. The truth is, I really have no idea. I've been really blessed and really grateful to receive a lot of offers from a lot of amazing schools. So ask me May 1st, and maybe I'll be able to have an answer for you. So Miss Mack has really been what I would affectionately call a calculus mother. She really has, been very nurturing, very kind, but she also, would not hesitate to call you out if you're really out of line. Ms. Mack has really not only taught me not only how to find derivatives, but really how to find myself and what I really want to pursue in life. And I'm really eternally grateful for her. I'll never forget the impact she's had on my educational experience. Kind of to sum it up, I really want to thank all the people behind the scenes, my parents, my family, all the administrators at Hillgrove, and most importantly, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So thank you, everyone.
From Kennesaw Mountain High School, Trevor Head and his star teacher, Dr. Joanne Jezequel.
Hi everyone, my name is Trevor Head. I know that I'm going to be majoring in mathematics and chemical engineering. You guys have as good an idea as I do as where I'm going to college. I got offers from Georgia Tech and UC Berkeley, but if MIT or Stanford or Princeton could get back at me, that would be really great, by the way. If anyone's listening, just want to throw that out there. And just like Boonmi before me, I'd also like to give a shout out to Henry Woodrow, 10 points off. It was really tragic. I hope he doesn't hate me. I really do. But my star teacher, Dr. J, as we all call her, you wouldn't think that I would have chosen my AP psychology teacher as someone who's going into really technical sciences and having been braced in public speaking to talk about graduate level statistics. It's a bit of a different animal, I would say. But really what it is that having her for an entire year with psychology, humanity from a scientific lens, and then going right on towards genetics from a humanistic lens, it taught me the synthesis of two ideas that I thought were polar opposites, and it really helped me in solving my problems when I went on to do internship opportunities. And so for preparing me in the world and for being my source of support when I was having difficult times, I will always be grateful to her. Thank you very much.
From Lassiter High School, Sarah Lazay and her star teacher, Beth Morgan.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lazay, and I go to Lassiter. I'm still undecided about college as well, but I'm deciding between Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia. When my counselor told me that I got to pick a teacher who I thought most impacted me, I immediately knew it was going to be Miss Morgan. Miss Morgan was my AP Lang teacher last year, and she's honestly one of the best teachers that I've ever had. She's just so passionate about helping us succeed, and her methods for teaching us impacted my SAT scores and how I learned today. So I just want to thank you for that. Thank you.